A very dangerous situation in portions of Alabama from last night. We had a tornado that developed at nighttime, so of course with no visibility, difficult to see what's coming. This was right about 10:30 last night in southeastern Alabama, and the city of Troy was hit very hard.
Yeah, to give you some perspective, that's about halfway between Montgomery and Dothan in the southeastern portions of the state. And we're gaining more information now that the sun is coming up, but what we already know is that multiple stores were damaged, and there were a report of 6 injuries, none of them serious, all of them minor, which is great news. But we want to know more about what caused this system and what happened during the later hours of last night.
Exactly. We're going to be joined now by Jim Stefkovich, who is the meteorologist in charge at the Birmingham, Alabama National Weather Service office. Jim, thanks for joining us. Can you just take us through what happened last night from the perspective of the meteorologist in your office?
Sure, Corey and Carissa, thanks for having me on this morning. So what I have here is a picture from the Doppler radar at a Fort Rucker in southeast Alabama, and we have the velocity data, and then we have the reflectivity. So this is the rainfall, and this is the actual motion within the storm. We issued a significant weather alert advisory, actually, for this storm around 10:32 as it came into Troy. And it's very rare to get tornadoes in Alabama in August. And this is at the height of the storm. In fact, this red dot right here where that arrow pops up, that's actually the Walmart location. They are on Highway 231. And the greens and reds together show rotation. The interesting part about this is the rotation is very weak, probably only of about 25 to 30 miles an hour. And we see this all the time here in Alabama that produces no severe weather. So we actually have a damage crew that has left the office, survey team. They're going down to Troy. It's about a 2-hour drive. They're going to survey the damage. And of course, that's what we do with the Weather Service after an event, is we actually can't tell the strength of any damage until we actually do some ground surveys to look at it. So that's what we'll be doing today.
And with that significant weather advisory that you said was in place for this, how do folks at home get that kind of information? NOAA weather radios are great to have when warnings are issued. What's the best way for people to stay up to date during severe weather situations like this one?
Sure, and great question. The significant weather alert is not tone alerted on weather radios, only watches and warnings are. So for this, they probably didn't get it on weather radio unless they were listening to it. They may have gotten it on a mobile device. Now, the interesting part is this is at the point of when the circulation was the strongest. And again, even at that, it was very weak. And we were in the middle of issuing the warning. We got the report of the damage at 10:38, and we issued the warning at 10:39. So literally, we were in the process of issuing that warning when it occurred, and literally within the next volume scan, it appears to have gone. So what we anticipate finding is that this was a very short-lived, on the weak side of a tornado. And again, looking at climatology, since 1950, we've only had about 65 tornadoes in Alabama for that 65-year period. So pretty rare for them to occur, and when they do, they're usually with tropical systems.
Absolutely. And with more severe weather potential later today, parts of Alabama under a slight risk. What are you anticipating into the afternoon hours?
Yeah, we could have a few storms that become strong to severe again this afternoon, especially with the maximum heating, the moisture's in place. We do expect a possibility of a warning or two. And again, we don't anticipate any tornadoes developing, but obviously everybody should be aware. And even if a severe thunderstorm warning is issued, you want to take action because we're talking about winds that are at or above 60 miles an hour and maybe even some hail.
And Jim, we heard earlier that the Birmingham office was planning to send a team out to be able to do a survey for today. Is that something that is still in the works?
Absolutely. In fact, they've already left the office, and what we do is we'll put all this information, once we gather it, we'll write up a report and we post it on our internet website, which is just weather.gov, and you can click on Central Alabama, and that will be headlined.
Excellent. Thank you so much. That was Jim Stefkovich, the meteorologist in charge at the National Weather Service office in Birmingham. Of course, we were talking about the quick, brief tornado that moved through Troy, but even though it was small, it was mighty. Yeah, and that's what can happen with those systems that just all of a sudden kind of pop up, that they can produce some damage, even though they may not be all that large. This one certainly did quite a bit of damage in portions of Troy, and there's a lot of cleanup that still needs to be done as we get through the rest of today. Yeah, you're seeing the pictures of damage from a local Walmart and a local sporting goods store. We're going to have much more coming up later in the hour. Stay with us.